If you're keeping photography as a part-time thing because you don't actually think you can make real money doing it, I need you to hear this. Listen, most photographers stay stuck at part-time income not because they lack talent or skill, but because they're stuck in 5 specific mindsets that keep them playing small. So today I'm going to show you the 5 things I stopped doing that completely transformed my photography business, and more importantly, why these mindset shifts matter way more than buying better gear or getting more followers. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Sarah Petty, and these 5 mindset shifts have helped me build a multi-million-dollar photography business, and it's helped my students build profitable, family-first businesses selling wall portraits instead of digital files. Here's what most photographers think. I can't charge $2,000 for a session until I'm as good as insert famous photographer's name. That's a lie, and it's keeping you broke. Your clients aren't comparing you to the best photographer in the world. They're comparing you to the experience they'll get when they're working with you versus not having all of those images at all. So when someone hires you to photograph their senior portraits or their new puppy or their family, they're not thinking, is Sarah as good as Annie Leibovitz? They're thinking, oh my gosh, this experience has been amazing. Will I love these images? Will this photographer make me feel comfortable? Will I get beautiful artwork for my home? Your value isn't determined by being the best photographer on the planet. It's determined by the experience you provide for your clients. Can you make a mom feel like a loving parent when she looks at portraits of her kids on the wall? Can you capture a high school senior's personality? Can you create artwork of someone's dog that makes them cry happy tears? That's what you're selling, not technical perfection. I see so many photographers, especially men, get stuck in the skill trap. They think they need to master every lighting technique, buy the most expensive gear, shoot for years before they deserve to charge premium prices. Meanwhile, they're undercharging and staying stuck in a job they hate because they don't think they're good enough yet. You don't need to be the best. You just need to serve your clients exceptionally well. The second mindset shift, stop comparing yourself to other area photographers. This one will kill your business faster than anything else because when you're constantly looking at what other photographers are doing, their Instagram posts, their pricing, their success, you're playing someone else's game instead of building your own business. You see another photographer posting mini sessions for $99, so you think, I guess that's what I need to be if I'm going to be competitive. Or you see someone getting tons of likes, so you think I must be doing something wrong. Here's the problem. Most photographers posting mini sessions for $99, they're broke. So when you copy what they're doing, their pricing, their social media strategy, or fake business model, you're copying a broken business. Dude, if you're going to copy off someone, make sure you're sitting next to the top student in the class, not someone who's failing. And you don't know that by looking at their business from the outside. Comparison also kills creativity because when you're focused on what someone else is doing, you're not building something unique. You're just trying to keep up. The photographers who actually make money, they stop worrying about what everyone else is doing, and they focus on serving their clients better than anyone else. Mindset shift number 3, stop waiting for someone else to validate you as a photographer. You're waiting for someone to give you permission to tell you you're good enough to validate that you're a real photographer. Maybe you're waiting for a certain number of followers or a feature in a magazine or for someone to say, wow, you're really talented. Let me give you thousands of dollars. Here's the hard truth. That validation is never coming. And if it does, it's not going to feel like you thought it was because the only person who needs to decide you're a photographer is you. Photography isn't something you need a degree for. You don't need anyone's permission to call yourself a photographer and charge more for your work. You just need to decide. I see this all the time with photographers who have the skills, who have the experience, who have paying clients, but they still don't feel like they're allowed to call themselves a professional photographer or charge what they're worth. They're stuck in imposter syndrome. Waiting for some kind of external validation is never coming, and it's never going to be enough. Here's what changed for me. I stopped waiting for permission, and I just started acting like the photographer I wanted to be. I raised my prices. I invested in my business. I showed up with confidence even when I didn't feel like it, and clients responded to that confidence. They trusted me because I trusted myself. By the way, if you're finding this helpful at all, make sure to subscribe to my free weekly newsletter. It's a quick 5-minute read with actionable strategies delivered right to your inbox to help you one bite at a time grow your photography business. I'll stick the link below for you. Mindset number 4. You need to stop settling for part-time income. This is a big one, and if you're watching this video, this might be exactly where you're stuck. You're keeping photography as a little side hustle. Maybe you're working a full-time job or being a full-time parent, maybe even working in a job you hate and telling yourself, I'll go full-time one day with my photography when I'm making enough money or when I'm good enough or whatever the story is. But here's the problem. You're never going to make enough money if you keep treating it like a hobby. Part-time mindset gets part-time results. And I'm not even saying you need to quit your job. I have people making 6 figures working part-time. What I'm saying is you need to stop settling for photography being just something you do for fun on the side. And then I want you to ask yourself, what would I do differently if I were treating this like a real business instead of just a little side hustle, a little extra money that's fun to make? Would you still be charging $200 a session? Probably not. Would you still be editing every single image yourself instead of outsourcing? Probably not. Would you still be waiting for clients to find you instead of actively having a strong marketing strategy? Probably not. The photographers who make the jump from part-time to full-time, they don't wait till they're ready. They let their day job fund their dream job. They decide they're ready and then they make it happen. They raise their prices. They get serious about marketing. They start making business decisions instead of hobby decisions. Here's what's crazy. Often the money follows that decision because when you start showing up as a serious business owner, clients treat you like one. And the last mindset shift, stop beating yourself up for not knowing all the answers. Here's something nobody tells you when you start a business. You're going to make mistakes. A lot of them. You're going to book the wrong clients. You're going to underprice your work. You're going to invest in marketing that doesn't work. You're going to screw up an order and have to give that money back. And if you beat yourself up every time that happens, you're going to burn out before you ever build a successful business. I used to do this. I'd make a mistake and I'd spend days, sometimes weeks, replaying it in my head, telling myself I should have known better. But here's what I learned. Nobody knows all the answers when they start. Not me, not the photographers you admire, nobody. The only way you learn what works in your business is by trying things, seeing what happens, and adjusting. Some photographers call this failure. I call it data. When you try a marketing strategy that doesn't work, especially if it's a good, solid one, not when you're copying someone, that's not failure. That's information. Now you know what doesn't work for your market and you can do it differently. The photographers who succeed aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who make more mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Friend, give yourself permission to be a beginner. Try things that don't work. Learn as you build. Because we always say imperfect action beats perfect inaction all day long. Friend, if you want help making these 5 shifts and finally building a photography business that replaces your full-time income, book a call with my team. We'll show you exactly how to price your work confidently, attract premium clients, and make the transition from side hustle to a real business painlessly. The link to book a call is in the description below, and I'll see you soon.